report of the chair, I will now yield the floor to Ms. Ahmed for a point of personal recognition.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I just wanted to take this opportunity to speak about my time on the board, as my predecessors have done before me, and thank those who have helped me along the way. I would just like to start by saying thank you to God, my family, friends, faculty, staff, supporters elsewhere, my advisor, Mr. Moody, and my assistant secretary, Ms. Jackson. And last but not least, the students who have elected and entrusted me to represent them on the board. The moment I stepped foot onto this board, I arrived cognizant of a lot of the politics that were involved, of the heated election of 2012 that awoke our county, of the struggle that our county faced in the state of Maryland. And most importantly, I arrived cognizant of the fact that I was a minority whose voice represented a new generation of people who were living through the outcomes of the decisions made by me and my fellow colleagues. I gave my oath promising to serve the students of Prince George's County. Since then, I gained a new perspective of the county that I've lived in my entire life. I soaked in the good, the bad, and everything in between. I saw that our students, our building blocks of the future, and our school system's most prized asset, possess such remarkable attributes and deserve more than what we could ever offer them. I got a realistic view of our school system after visiting many schools, and I came to appreciate the work that staff members, teachers, and students do, despite the challenges that our school system has faced this year. To ensure that my constituency of over 123,000 students was given a voice, I worked closely with the Prince George's Regional Association of Student Government, otherwise PGRASC, and our web specialist, Mr. Pugh, to create an all-new PGRASC website, which included my blog, updates on the County Board of Education, and an array of useful information to students, including scholarship, internship opportunities. In addition to that, we worked to establish a Superintendent Student Advisory Council to advocate student concerns to the next superintendent. I advocated for a new system in tracking and evaluating violence and bullying in our schools, as well as encouraging the health and fitness, and eliminating the $50 athletic fee is definitely a big step. Thank you, Dr. Crawley. But the best way for me to adequately express my experience on the school board is to share 5 lessons that I've learned throughout my term. I believe these lessons will allow our county to move forward, and I hope that my colleagues, both old and new members, can gain some insight from the experiences and advice that I'm about to share. Lesson number 1, our county and our world is in need of leaders who empower others to become leaders. Unless we can nurture an environment where our colleagues, friends, and classmates feel confident, knowledgeable, and empowered to learn or make a difference in our world, we will be deprived of the excellence that each individual could have contributed. I hope that with the new leadership in our school system, we can work to attain that goal. Number 2, anyone who has ever strived to accomplish anything meaningful in life has faced opposition. I say this to encourage my colleagues as well as parents, teachers, and students to aim high and maintain integrity regardless of the bumps on the road. That is the only way any person or institution can succeed. Number 3, never underestimate anyone's voice or position. You may never know what you are missing out on. We are all here for the same reason. I have made the most of what I was given when I arrived to this position. However, I hope that my successor, Ruqayyat, will be given a more equal status and will be able to participate more than I was allowed to, seeing as though the student member can provide a unique perspective unknown to many other board members. Number 4, those who deserve the most recognition are usually the ones that never get it. Don't let this stop you from making a difference. This extends to all people, usually teachers, students, and staff. They usually say that success comes to those who are too busy to be looking for it. This way, we can remain focused on what really matters to us. And number 5, the most important one. Unless the dynamics of the boardroom reflect that of a respectful and appreciative environment, we cannot expect the dynamics of the classroom to evolve into something better. My time on the board was an interesting yet memorable experience that I will take with me when I head off to college. I hope that my experiences and lessons will help our Board of Education evolve and in turn change the dynamics of our school system for the better. Thank you.
Ms. Boston?
I just want to say, Ms. Ahmed, that I hope that we will, first of all, we really enjoyed having you on the board for this year. I hope whatever experiences that you learned, that you take it and, you know, and use it well in your future endeavors. I really appreciate your persistence. I think you advocated very well on behalf of the students that you represent in Prince George's County, and I, for one, wish you well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you again, Ms. Ahmed, for your outstanding contribution and for your outstanding student leadership. You represented your students well. I wrote down all 5 of your recommendations, and I will keep them
nice.
very close. Thank you. Once again, colleagues, I want to take this time to extend additional farewell wishes to Ms. Ahmed as she closes out her term as student board member for the 2012-13 year. In her one term, Ms. Ahmed has served as an excellent student advocate for the student body of Prince George's County Public Schools. She has accomplished quite a bit in her term. To name a few, she assisted with the launching of the Prince George's Regional Association for Student Government's website, which she talked about, provided resources to students on scholarship opportunities, participated in the legislative session at Henry Wise Jr. High School, introduced a method of monitoring bullying in schools, established a group of students to share ideas for the Superintendent Student Advisory Council, and lastly, sponsored tuition for 2 students to attend the Maryland Leadership Senior High workshops this summer, which will allow each student to develop their leadership skills, enhance social development, and earn student service learning hours. Ms. Ahmed is the recipient of the 2013 Superintendent Scholarship Award for Excellence in Education for Prince George's County Public Schools Incorporated, and which, by the way, was, as we talked about, the golf tournament, which helps to sponsor that, and the County Council of Prince George's County Leadership Achievement Scholarship. In addition, she was just recently named a Congressional Award Gold Medalist for the state of Maryland, honored by the United States Congress. Again, please help us to congratulate Ms. Ahmed.
I'd like to take this opportunity to extend my well wishes to our student school board member, Ms. Ahmed. I'd like to thank you for your leadership. I'd also like to congratulate you on receiving the Superintendent's Scholarship, and I believe that you are off to the University of Maryland at College Park. So on behalf of all the staff in the school system, congratulations.
Thank you.
And with that, I'll yield back to our board chair, Dr. Eubanks.
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. Mr. Walter Lowe, President of the University of Maryland, College Park, would you please come forward, sir?
Good evening, Chairman Eubanks and members of the board of the Prince George's County Board of Education. If I may be allowed to deviate from my script and say how impressed I was with student member Ms. Ahmed's presentation, and I'm so proud that you're coming to the University of Maryland, College Park. I look forward to welcoming you personally. Call my office. Let's go out and have lunch.